real right now.
Mr. DL.
222. Who's off? I could just lose your mind.
Yes. We are here with the 96th episode, of the Danger Zone podcast. Man, another month we'll be at 100. We got to do something good for the 100th show.
Oh, DL stripping.
Yeah. We here, man, you know.
With the legendary
Telemundo. Now, Big Shook. What's good?
Mr. DL.
Telemundo. And Chef Tanya Nicole. And of course, it's football season, so we have our special guest, Real Love. Ah, no.
Yeah.
Ella lo puede hacer, pero tú no lo puedes hacer.
Boricua.
Real
I
love
know
with
what
the
you
earrings.
said.
I'm feeling your earrings and shit. So, you know, DL, everybody, whatever. First thing I might want to say is, well, actually, I heard something today too that was actually pretty cool. Was different, where Busta Rhymes did a performance with his kids.
Yeah.
Were you aware of that?
Yeah. So I didn't see the performance. I knew it was happening, and then I saw his son call him to stage. Like his son was the MC, and Busta Rhymes came from behind. That's what I saw. I saw that part.
Yeah, his daughters performed. New York City, Busta Rhymes has proven he's one proud papa by performing with his incredibly talented children on The Tonight Show starring Jimmy Fallon.
That's what it was for.
On Tuesday, the Brooklyn rap veteran stopped by the hit late-night talk show to perform 2 tracks from his new album, Blockbuster, The Statement and Legacy. Taken to Instagram ahead of the performance, Busta Rhymes proudly bragged about his loved ones, declaring them incredibly talented. I would like to say that I have an incredibly talented son as well, Bus. But anyway, in the music rap game, the blessings, shout out to Tremaine. The blessings ain't stopping, so we ain't never stopping at Jimmy Fallon tonight. You will be meeting my legacy, he wrote, as we perform a legacy tonight with my incredibly talented children. At Hamacy, at Reyes, Rad, and as Original Trillin, I think that's his son, as we perform the legacy from that Blockbuster album, available and streaming everywhere right now. Let's go. It's dope though, because as we grow and get older and things like that, you realize that these kids are adults, and like every person that's rapping or doing stuff musically, the kid doesn't necessarily have to be talented or be good. I've seen a lot of that it just wasn't happening. You know what I mean? So to see when they're good, to see when
Not you.
Not talented. Not.
I don't know what you're talking about.
But see, you have talents other ways. You have other talents like that. That talent right there is musically is, it's glad that they are that. I know quite a few that have talented children, but in this rap music. But I also have heard ones that the kids have no business. So
a lot of the times, being a son or a daughter of a celebrity helps you skip the line when you don't necessarily need to be on that stage yet. And that's when people realize you're not good because you didn't put in the time, the effort, the doing an open mic for 3 people. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do that shit. So I never liked that skipping the line shit. Like I felt like that way with T.I. when he became a comedian. I feel like he completely just skipped the line because he was a celebrity. And they're like, oh, put him on stage, it's T.I. And we all saw he wasn't fucking funny.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
If you think about it, so it can vary. Depending on what the situation is, because, for instance, like I could take myself for one, for instance. So I do hip hop music, I rap. Y'all know the deal. But I literally have made people laugh most of my life, and actually went on stages or open mic stuff just because I could. You know what I mean? To see what was popping. And obviously I was successful doing it. So if somebody really has that in them, that's different. If he was really funny or whatever, it might have been a little different. But the case is different. It wasn't that. another thing too, musically, like for instance, like you just said, D. Like okay, like I'm picking from me again. Like so, my son, since he was 3 years old, I had him, in studios and doing stuff. But he went to the part of like you said, like going to studios on his own, writing, but doing all these little shows. Like you said, the shows with like they're hardly nobody in there. You know what I mean? And so when people see or hear Tremaine, they be like, "Damn, he's pretty good" or whatever. But he really is doing all that stuff that we say. So if you hear him, like he's on my new album coming up. But when you hear him, that's a kid that literally was like all over the place, rhyming and doing what he had to do, not with me, like to himself. So when like that's like skipping the line. Another one is like what's his name? Biggie's son, right? So I remember he was on the radio station with his mans, and shit was whack as hell, like terribly whack.
Oh boy, the danger zone.
Even the people that were on the radio, the hosts were like, listen, they did it smooth though. They didn't say like, yo, your pops was crazy, like nice, but you whack.
Yeah. Like
what you could have. They said it more like, listen. Your father, man, he's such a great, and his legacy, whatever, like I can tell you now, he wouldn't have approved of that. Like he said, you're not ready, or whatever. Well, and you know what? He took it to heart, dude, because like you never heard from him again.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? Like you never heard him. Well, he must know.
Who did we really get in music? Not even just hip hop, but I'll start with hip hop. We had that made on a major level. We had Peter Guns and then Corey Guns. Mm-hmm. We had Benzino and his daughter. Mm-hmm. We had there's been some other ones I'm spacing.
But what you want to say is like so the ones
Run.
When the kid was actually good.
Yeah. Like Corey Guns is a good rapper, so like he's
he was good.
So those I don't remember if Run's kids were good rappers. I don't remember.
No. So Diggy was.
That was the youngest one, right?
Yeah. JoJo wasn't.
No, JoJo was not.
Like,
But I feel like JoJo wasn't really in it. JoJo was in it for like the appearances.
Big Pun and Chris Rivers, those two guys.
Oh yeah,
those are good rappers.
Yeah, but Chris is good though. Chris,
yeah,
he's good.
That's what he's saying. Yeah, he agrees.
Damn, I feel like I'm missing something.
I believe. No, I know he agrees. I just was saying. I'm just co-signing like he's dope.
Heard.
You know what I mean?
I feel like I'm missing someone big, but yeah.
But as you can see, there's not a lot because I feel like even if your parents do get those doors opened, at some point, especially with how social media and fans are driven now, if you're not bringing it, people are gonna let you know right away.
Well, Chris Rivers did all that by himself because his dad was passed, and his dad, the guy who put out his dad, not that he had beef with Chris Rivers, but he wasn't touching Chris Rivers as an artist that he was going to try to put out because of all the turmoil that he had already dealt with the family over the years. So Chris Rivers, isn't the biggest rapper ever, but he definitely has his own name, and he did it by himself.
And he has,
so
yeah, and he's good.
Yeah,
he's good.
Yeah.
I mean, the thing is too is to know that, like, to know you got to take that path. Like, you hear these other things coming up, like T.I.'s son putting out some music and telling his parents he want to be hood, and they were shooting that down. Or Michael Irvin, a former Dallas Cowboys great, his son was rapping about some hood ill shit. He like, yo, you from a gated community. So I mean, you got kids that just want to be in it, right? But like even myself, like when I even rhyme or whatever, it's like I really can, like, now you get older, so you're still kind of storytelling at times, but then at sometimes it's just like giving, you're just reflecting on some different stuff, the different things you've seen or how, things were handled or whatever it was. So I could see, but still, at the end of the day, I just feel like it's naturally comes out. Like the music is naturally coming out. It never was forced, because someone like me, when I started, like, it wasn't a main thing. So it was like, you came into it and you was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. And for me to still be rhyming now and not being like someone said something to like unbelievable what my age is. It was like something I didn't even see before. I saw like over 100 people, because they said that I was underrated. One person made that statement, and then 100 people or so had said that, nah, this isn't the case, even at this age, or blah, blah. So now it's funny when they say this age, because you'll get somebody like Melly Mel, who's the same age. Like, we can use him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't rhyme like that, dude. You see what I'm saying? And I'm
he
like,
said, I don't rhyme like that, dude. Don't be putting me with him.
So you can't, but I'm saying, so you couldn't put the number on it and be like, well, damn, dude's 62, or that's why he sounds like that.
Yeah, well,
yeah, it's
whatever.
not an age thing, but it's a where are you in the grip of like
the grip of reality.
Industry.
Are you surrounded by people who are like, yeah, Melly Mel, it's cool when you rap like this still. Like, are you surrounded by those people who their only outlet in life is knowing Melly Mel, and they don't want to ruin that by saying, yo, this shit's terrible, bro. Like, people stopped rapping like this 40 years ago. 30 years ago,
something.
35 years ago. You can't rap like.
Let me explain something. So here's how that works too. Know what you are, know what it is. Go and do all those Melly Mel and the Grandmaster Flash and Furious Pop, do all those songs on tour. There's a spot for you. That we know that. Like, they do that. There's gonna be that. So he did the message to with a band. Right? So there's over 1 million views on that. Because that's what the people want to see. That's where you were at. You know what I'm saying? Like me, I feel like because I wasn't like, you know, somebody who was pop or platinum or any of that. So I just kept still like evolving, because like I'm around cats that is like 20 years or better or whatever, and you're rhyming with them and you're around them. And you freestyle, whatever you're doing, you're like, damn, I'm still in the mix like that.
Yeah, but
so of course, I'm gonna still keep, you know, pushing them rhymes and doing my flow or whatever.
It's not pushing the rhymes. It's pushing the rhymes, yes, but it's also adapting with the culture. And just like you said, like hip hop's 50 years old. Busta Rhymes is older than hip hop, and he's still the fucking. Right. He'll get on a song with an 18-year-old rapper who does
and
UK drill music, something that's completely out of Busta Rhymes' radar. You know what I'm saying? He'll get on that. So how they rap in drill music? How they rap? Oh, that's how they rap. Okay, and he will come in and kill a fucking child in their genre, in their lane. And that's why I wanted to talk about his new album too. But we can get back to that. But one more thing about the kids. I looked it up. I was like, who am I leaving out? You ever heard of Coast Contra? From the West Coast, they're big. You've probably seen them. There's 4 guys, but 2 of the guys are twins, and their dad is Rascass, and they're really big right now on the, like I was saying.
Oh, their father was who?
Rascass.
Oh yeah, I heard about them. Yeah. Matter of fact, I think he talked about that on the show.
No, I talked about it the next show. I was like, dude, we completely forgot to talk about his son. But
shout out to Rascass.
I listened to the new Busta Rhymes album. I want to just transition into that because it's short. As you guys know, I think Busta Rhymes, I don't think there's anyone really touching him. There's artists that are, you know, like your Jay-Z's and whatever that, you know, might be the right answer for who's the greatest of all time, but he's right there with anyone that is mentioned in the thing. So he put out his new album, Blockbuster. We listened to it. I give it a B-, which might sound low, but it's good. I think it's a good rating because, like I said, it's a new age hip hop album, and he's on there with all these huge artists that are the Future, Migos, Kodak Black, all these people, and he's right there next to him. Like, and it doesn't sound like Melly Mel. You know what I mean? So
the danger zone.
I give it a B-. But every single song I know, except the song he made with Tigger, but every single song was he was like, yeah, this needs to be played in the club, every song. And that you could tell that was the vibe of the album. But yeah, I just wanted to shout out that album because I did check it out. What did you give it out of?
Yo,
I gave it a B-.
And I like to also shout out Busta Rhymes because he always showed love, like with me and to, you know, even like man, he just always was that dude. Like when I was around, even though it was a few years back, but then the spot duty, I see him somewhere, and he still was always the same, like never different. And he continues to, I remember hearing him on the track for the first time with Leaders of the New School, but I also heard him on the track by himself. You know what I mean? When I heard him by himself, I was like, damn, this dude's gonna be like, this thing got me years ago he was like 17 or 18, something like that. And he was by himself for the first time.
Yeah.
Because see, back then, what happened was those groups they'd have records.
Yeah.
But then at some point you was gonna hear like one dude by himself, and you knew like when I heard Busta, I was like, wow, this dude's, you know what I mean? Even Scenario even showed you that I was like, yo, this dude's a different dude.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He's definitely like you weren't getting him. You weren't getting him. It just wasn't happening. I don't care who was on the song, how famous they were. You were not being like, for example, like Victory, for example, with Biggie. What part do we remember? Even though Biggie's verse is fucking crazy, you remember his hook. All he had was 4 bars, and that's the part of the song you remember. He's always been cool to me. I've met him like, I don't know, a dozen times. Most recently,
oh boy.
Most recently, when I was working on that documentary,
The Danger Zone.
That documentary that he was, I guess would say co-starred in. He did his whole set and then came up to talk to me after the show, and that was the one moment of the night Chef Tanya decided she didn't want to film anymore. So we missed that whole conversation. But he's always been cool to me. I've seen him.
I will never live this down, as you can tell.
Hey,
I've seen him be not so friendly to some, but never to me. He's so he's definitely on my list there. Yeah.
Actually, I think he's coming. And I think it could be March.
Yeah, March. Yeah, I saw that. Yep.
So obviously I'll be there. Maybe we'll all be there, but I know I'll be up in there.
It's coming in March.
Yeah, it's crazy too, because it's funny when you said that about Tanya, because Phil got her excited when I was talking to L, right?
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, like we was having some real like funny conversation, whatever, which it was almost the same scenario where like at one moment like she was filming, and then the next moment shit you seen, when you look back at it, you seen feet. I was like, yo, what happened? Like, you know what I mean? I was like, yo, but I mean, you know what? I think the thing that got her the most was the fact that how, like we were all having real conversation. Like it wasn't like nobody wasn't fans, because obviously, man, he know Preem. Obviously, I met with him like several times over the years. So, we really got caught up like that. We were talking about some stuff and different things. And one thing he said, we were talking about how back when you were tour at that time, because a lot of times back then you was running into each other everywhere. Like you ran into everybody. I'm talking about, you could be in Europe, you could be at the airport, wherever. There's Rob Bass. Oh, there's Queen Latifah. Oh, there's L. Like that's just how that shit was. You shake hands, whatever, keep it moving. And I was talking about like at those days too, sometimes you had 20-hour bus rides.
Yeah.
Like 20 hours. And I was like, yo, I remember them bus rides when you be on there for 20 hours. And he was like, I used to like them shits because he would sleep like a long time, like on there. But with us, come on, man. After you sleep for a while on those buses, anybody who knows that tour,
oh my God,
you sleep for a while, but then you're sitting up, you're drinking, you're smoking, you're eating, and it seems like, and then the bus driver got to pull over.
Yeah.
For his allotted time, you know what I mean? So now you're here in Mississippi, Tupelo, Mississippi, like, what's happening?
It's hard to get
cheeseburgers on white bread.
It's hard to get 10 people on the same. It's hard to get 10 people on the same sleep schedule. So like, if one guy's up, if Primo's up making a beat in the fucking chilling area,
know what,
you're gonna
hear. Yo, one thing about that though, D, that is kind of wild. So, in a nutshell, like most of the time, people was sleeping at the same time. More on Jazzmatazz, probably because some of them dudes was old as hell. But more on Jazzmatazz, right?
The Danger Zone.
And with us, sometimes with Gangstar, we're all, because it comes that time where everybody's like, yo, I'm mad tired. So you climb in the bunks. and you get that one dude up, like what's his name? Gord, Biggest Gord. Shout out to Biggest Gord. He'd be the one up watching TV in the back. But when that sleep takes over, you gotta climb in one of them bunks and just go to sleep. It's just, you know what I mean? And them things is like little caskets. But they're the most comfortable things ever at that point when you're that tired.
I knew a girl. She was.
I would be like, I'm gonna sleep in between the caskets, and you guys just walk over me when you have to go to the bathroom.
I knew a girl. She was in the military in another country, and she was telling a story about how you can be so tired. She said that she was in some foxhole and there was poisonous snakes everywhere.
I remember this.
And she was up for like 3 days because she couldn't sleep because of the snakes. And she said at some point you just get so tired, you're like, I guess I'll just die, because that's how that's how tired I am right now.
Let me tell you, one time I was on a plane, Air Italia. Shout out to Air Italia.
Buongiorno.
I was so tired. I was so tired because we had to go on one plane, take a bus, get on the plane. Then we had to go on this other plane. So, and then the plane's tight as hell. So there's a person on one side of me, the person on another side. And I'm in the middle. I'm big as hell. Like, I'm like, damn. Then a lot of people just stunk. Like BO, right? Mad BO.
European.
And I'm tired as hell. I can hardly hold my eyes
in that
open.
seat. Oh.
And then, so the part that killed it was the stewardess, the assistant or whatever. She's closing the bins, and she got mad heat coming from like the pits, right? And I'm like, yo. So I just yell loud as hell on this plane when no one probably speaks English. I'll be like, you fucking stink. It fucking stinks in here. I was so damn tired.
The danger zone.
I yelled it so loud.
That is what's called a mental breakdown. Or a nasal breakdown.
I yelled that shit so loud. I yelled it so loud. Everybody looked at me, right? And I'm still stuck between these people. And then I just fell asleep. I fell asleep when we woke up. We was where we at.
The stick knocked his ass out.
Remember,
There was so many people taking pictures of him when he was sleeping. This guy right here, he just started screaming.
yo,
Hey, they say that scream therapy is a thing, so Big Shug, you might have been ahead of your time.
Yo, let me tell you, I felt like I was in a big armpit. That like a musty, that plane, I swear, that might have been the mustiest thing I've been on. You know, it was like crazy. And you gotta fly. And after I yelled out, it fucking stinks, I just went to sleep. And here we are all these years later, and I never forgot that flight. It was so bad. You know what I'm saying? So it moral of the story. But you know, not against any people or anything, but abroad, like in different parts of Europe, that's nothing to people.
I like broads from Europe.
I think I see people like had girlfriends and all that, and everybody's musty. So I like the must is no thing. It's animal magnetism, I guess. I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're on. I guess we're a little more hygienic than a lot of places, especially Europe.
Oh,
I'm not gonna say it's
Before
hygienic
we
because
get
some people are like just crunchy granola, but I guess they're not making the right soap combination. The essential oils are off.
No, peep this. So years ago, I learned with some of the places, not everybody, I guess. So you could get an apartment, and number one, you can get an apartment. This was probably in Paris. You could get hot water, which is going to cost you money to pay for hot water, or get no hot water. And then what people would do is take baths when the water got room temperature. You know what I mean? And then no deodorant, cologne or perfume under the pits, right? So you know this is not going to work. I remember us.
If you haven't tried it yourself, I'm gonna let you know it's not working.
No, and we're going to we're going to this other after party or something. So we had a suite, and so everybody came up. There was girls, guys. Everybody came up to the suite while Guru was probably changing or something before we went to the next spot. And this one girl says, "Yo, does anybody have any deodorant?" And I was like, "Yo, you ain't got no deodorant, right?" You know what I'm saying? And the reason being, it's like she explained how like they kind of fell into that way of life out there. I was like, she said, you can't get it from nobody. I was like, but yo, you really don't got deodorant? It bugged me out because we're in the suite. That's why I'm able to get a roll on and be like, yo, here you go. Keep that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't want it back.
Keep it in your purse.
I'm like, yo, that's you, yo. Keep
That's
the
all
funk
you,
on the funk,
boo. Tell him Big Suge gave it to you.
Hey, the great words of George Clinton. When I first met George Clinton, he was mad musty. He said, yo, we all blazed together. And he said, yo, you got to keep the funk on you. I was like, oh, okay. You know what I mean?
That's what that is. Okay.
That's George Clinton. He said, you got to keep the funk on you. I said, okay.
Maybe
well,
that's
right
how
on
he
with the
kept
funky
people
stuff.
away, you know, because before they didn't have a lot of bodyguards, so.
Well, remember when we went to, I won't say his name because I'm actually a fan of him. Remember when we went to work on that video and the main artist stunk on the stage? He stunk the whole stage up?
Oh my God, what happened?
Yeah.
Were you
this
and
is
a skunk in the garbage bag?
This is a or close to A-list celebrity.
Oh my
and
God.
his body odor was, you could smell it on like
Potent.
feet away.
Ooh.
Feet away.
Yo. Yo.
Nobody told him?
I told him after. I'm not gonna say it here, but I told him after. But not
Yo,
then. I wasn't. I come to
I'm
you
that
on
dude.
stage. You know what I'm saying? And I was like,
I'm
"Woo."
that dude.
Yeah.
I'm
I
that
said it
dude.
jokingly
Yeah,
I'm
you
after.
know you're that dude.
I said it jokingly
No.
after, but
I'm gonna be like, yo, you type stink. Yo, listen, one time he was at a
Big Suge sure will.
but you were. He was. I'm
Yo,
saying
we
he
was
was
at a
on stage. He was
restaurant.
rapping like he was like rapping on stage, and then I noticed it, and then it just never went away. It stayed on stage with him. It was
Yo.
his hype man.
Ooh.
So check it out. I'm at a restaurant, right? So we at a restaurant, and the waitress comes over. Definitely Mustelina. She was funky as hell, right? This shit was horrible.
That is a
So-
number one rule. You can't have that when you're eating. That's,
Yo, Pete. So Pete this. So then I'm like, damn,
you can't have
she's
it.
funky as hell. So then I try to say, how can I be, cordial about it and be like, I said, listen, can we have another waitress, please? And she was foreign from wherever she was from. And she goes, I am your waitress. She got a little crusty there. And I said, damn. I says, can we have another waitress? I'm still being cool in a restaurant. So I'm like, can we have can I just have another waitress, please? I told you, I am the waitress, blah, blah, blah. This, then I said, well, can you get the manager? Right? And she's still talking. And I said, listen, you fucking stink. You know what I'm saying? I said, yo.
You don't know about me. I'm Big Suge. I tell people they stink in public.
Yo, the manager comes over. I says, yo, I tried to tell you. I'm trying to get another waitress or whatever. She stinks. And she
my
works here. And
You people
you're the boss.
That is wow.
You know what I mean? I'm like, you're the boss, and you're letting this person serve food smelling like that.
Nah,
I
you
know
can't.
you smell that.
You can't.
It was horrible. So needless to say, we got another waitress.
Listen, I work in the hospitality industry, and literally the requirements, like I do a lot of like independent work, right? So a lot of the requirements in your contract, it will say you have to, and then I read it and I go, that's sad that they have to put that. It says you have to shower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't have long, dirty fingernails. You know, like it says you have to brush your teeth.
You have to shower.
It says you have to
Oh my
wear
God.
deodorant. Like it has like literally.
What about the one that said you have to shower and record it?
Okay, no, stop.
What? Get out of here.
The danger
What
zone.
about the one?
But literally,
What about
and then
the
I have
one
to
that
think, it's sad that they have to put that down as a requirement to let you know that if you don't meet any of these, they can send you home because you're out of your contract. But that just means that there are a lot of people out there that are doing it.
That do that. Yeah.
Well,
And
listen,
that's
I went online. Yo, I made a Facebook post about this specific place that I went to, and I frequent the place, and this dude like smells like hell like all the time. So I just made the post and was like, just a while ago, and I was like, man, every time I go there, this same person smells horrible. Now they're nice though, you know what I mean? Nice dude, whatever. But yo,
you could be nice and
It's terrible.
smelly.
so listen, but yo, if you're nice and smelly, you're still offensive though.
100%.
So it is what it is. So I make this post about that, and a few times I've been back there since. I don't smell that dude. So I'm saying, like, I feel like someone said it to them because they all watch my stuff and stuff I be doing. Like, this thing was bad. Whereas, like, I'm like, damn, like, just think, you, DL, Tanya, Maria, like, all of you guys as a boss of any of us in any association or whatever, you know that someone's gonna come every day and work with you or for you or around you, and they're gonna smell like war. Like you like, yo, I'm trying to tell you, you're gonna say something.
I worked at a very nice restaurant, and one of the hostess had a situation, and when I started there, I was like, I didn't know what the thing was, but obviously everybody else did.
I don't see Brussels sprouts on the menu. What's that smell?
I'm like, you can't.
Fried onion.
And this person was the hostess. Again, very nice person, you know.
The face of the restaurant.
hostess?
The face of the company.
Dang.
And it's like a nice restaurant. And I actually put the manager, I was like, y'all need to tell her. Because, first of all, if I went in there, I would turn right back around. Because I don't know if it's the restaurant or a person. And either way, I'm not going to eat in that. That's not the smells I want to smell when I'm eating my food. And I'm paying for it. So, I pulled it to the side. I said, listen, I don't know if maybe, you know, I know this happened to me as, you know, the few years go by, your body chemistry kind of changes. But, you know,
Fuck that.
You know, I think you should try a new deodorant is what I told them. You know, you got to tell them.
Fuck that. You just go to them and you tell them, listen, I don't like onions in my pancakes. And they're going to be like, there's no onions in these pancakes. And then they'll know what you're talking about. So listen, real quick. So listen, this so much happens in them restaurants. I'm gonna just say a little something. If you're sitting and you order some food, right? And the waitress comes up to you, or even the chef, right? It walks up to you and takes a scoop of your food and eats it. It's like right in front of you, right there, right? Like, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
You can have that.
Yeah, that's the perfect.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not paying for the food. I don't know if it's fight worthy unless you already paid for it. I don't think it's fight worthy unless you already had paid for it. I would probably find it hilarious, but I wouldn't. I would just leave. When I was a kid, rest in peace, my Uncle Michael. But when I was a kid, I was eating.
I'm gonna tell you the rest. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Well, finish your story.
Go ahead, finish.
And my Uncle Michael, I was eating soup and he grabbed the crackers and put his cracker into my. I'll never forget that. I was just a kid and I still remember that shit. So I definitely would like that.
Yeah, I think most people would not like that.
The reason why I say that, right? So there's a restaurant that everybody is very, very popular, right? And I know for a fact that when they put the food up on the counter for the waitress and waiters to come get it to bring it to your table,
yeah.
The cooks will be on the main cook be on the other side taking a scoop out and eating it, you know, and this is going to you. He throws the spoon away, whatever. So I remember
that's different because especially if it's a nice restaurant, he has to make sure that it's a nice place that you have to make sure it's right.
But listen what I said.
Okay.
But listen what I just listen, you said that's different. Listen, the thing that he did was take this scoop out of your plate. So what's different with him doing it right there and then at your table?
Oh, it's definitely different. When the plate is in the kitchen, that plate's the chef's.
Yeah.
When the server has the plate, it's gray area because the chef could come out and be like, hold up, something has to change. Once that plate hits your table, that plate is yours.
Yeah.
100%.
So listen what I'm saying though.
I'm listening.
So listen, remember what I said at first. What would you do if the chef came up and just took a scoop out of your plate?
That's why I said that's the difference, because now the plate is on your table. That's your plate.
But see, I don't see. So my problem I have is with him eating anything out of the plate. Period. If that shouldn't be something that's visible that someone can see, I don't think you should do it at all. If you should be tasting something in a restaurant, so be it. But the average person that's gonna see someone doing that ain't gonna want it. If I walk by, because if you got this one specific place, when you walk to the bathroom, you walk by the kitchen, you can see. If I walk by and see this dude eating out the plate, whatever he's doing, I don't want it. Yeah. That's all I'm saying. Like, that's just me.
I guess I would have to see like what the layout of the kitchen is, because for instance,
Yeah,
it just depends. Like if I'm thinking of a Michelin star restaurant, the chef is tasting everything. Like
right.
like.
But I don't think if it's on the plate, like on a customer's plate, though, I understand tasting as you're cooking, totally fine. But if it's once it like is on the plates, ready to be passed out, they're not. I don't think they're going in and taking something off of the.
Give me one of them ribs.
No, that's
What I would
Sarah.
say is that it's
No.
not common, but it's not uncommon, is what I'm saying. Because like old school chefs, like sometimes they do that because if they have a chef in training and let's say they plated it, they might want to taste it before it goes out, and the chef could be running around. So it just really just depends. I guess like I definitely see it from Big Shook's point of view because he's on the opposite side of that world. And again, I would have to see like them work. If he's just eating people's food and it's not because he's actually taste testing, then that's disgusting and you need to stop that.
Listen. My thing is, so years ago, Chinese restaurants, you couldn't see when they're making the food, like at all. A law was passed. That's why you go in a lot of Chinese restaurants and you can see like everything being made. But years ago, you see nothing ever. That was the only place that was like that. So people are doing whatever. We don't know.
He said we don't know. There's murder back there.
But listen, once we're able to see, so that's what I'm saying.
Well, it gives you peace of mind. It gives you peace of mind.
If I can see it, I don't need to see that. If we go to, I think, what is that, Benihana or whatever, right? Or you know those type of restaurants like
Hibachis?
that?
Yeah,
hibachi, right? So if somebody's in a hibachi and they chopping up the chicken for you and they scoop some and eat some and then shoot it on their plate like you do, you ain't with that. I'm like, dude, what are you eating my shit for? Pause. You know what I mean? I'm like, yo.
So it's just greedy.
Like, I'm like, yo, I seen that. So that's what I'm saying. If I don't, like, listen, what we don't know won't hurt you. I've walked into restaurants and
trust me, you don't want to know. No, let me stop.
I watch, I've seen people come out of bathrooms without washing their hands at a waitress. I've seen people digging in the air and I let them go through the whole full motion and I say, yo, are you the one making those pizzas right there? Right? And they'll be like, I'll be like, are you making them pizzas? And they're for me. And I says, oh, both of those right there? And then I'll be like,
yeah, I'm good.
If you digging in your ear like that, then they're fucked up. Because now the manager's like, got to replace my shit, apologizing to me. But I'm just saying, this is shit that be happening. If you can see
I
it,
understand. I mean,
it's a problem.
When I was working in the last restaurant that I was working at, they thought I was, not that they thought I was obsessive, but I was just like extra clean. Just because, you know, I know I'm dealing with other people's food and stuff. So I don't know. It's just like, I know how I want someone to work if it was my plate. And I was just extra with it.
That's not obsessive. That's being respectful, and I thank you.
And listen, there are 100% like sanitation standards and about, you know, changing your gloves and all that. I'm just a little extra with it. And even myself, being in other places of work where I work in the kitchen, I have to check myself because I will literally be like, oh, you should really wash your hands.
Think about it. When you meet people, do you shake their hands?
Not nowadays. I try to do the dab so that and I don't have to touch people's hands.
My whole life I pretty much did this for handshakes. I slap and a pound. That's pretty much what I've always done. Like I don't really shake people's hands.
I don't really like touching people I don't know in general.
If I don't know you, I give you a side of my fist like that. Like I'm like, oh, what's up, man? If I know you, I slap and pound.
The reason why I say that is because in this world we live in, we were raised a lot, you know, shaking people's hand, firm handshake, whatever. But there's people, man, corporate and otherwise, that spend their day at different times scratching their crotch, digging in their nose, scratching in their butt, and shaking people's hands all day, right? So I mean, it's just it's either you're one way or you're the other. So you know what I mean?
Exactly.
You don't know if someone came and shook your hand, it's like, hey man, how you doing, DL? Man, good to meet you. Wow, I was just digging in my nose for like 10 minutes.
What I hate is when you meet someone and you give them they try to give you like a dap, but then it looks like they're trying to dap you up, but then they shake your hand and they squeeze it all weird. I'm like, get out of here with all that weird shit, man.
Or
get out of here.
I don't know what that is.
They go like this. and you go to do a dap, but then they shake your hand, and you're not lined up for a handshake, and they squeeze your hand. I always say
That's an
something.
ego thing.
I always say something to those people. I'm like,
that
yo,
doesn't happen to me.
what are you doing with that?
I get the when they go shake your hand, and then I guess because you're a lady, they go all soft with it, and I'm like, that's gross. That's like giving someone a wet
limp
sock.
handshake.
Yeah, I'm like, ew. What is? I said, that's how you shake a hand.
So
Today, actually, I
Listen,
had a business meeting, and I actually shook the gentleman's hand, and it was like it was even. He wasn't trying to show me like, oh, I got strength. It was like, okay, nice to meet you. Boom. Let's do business.
I met this dude bigger than me. Big dude worked at AutoZone. If you're watching the show, whatever, you already know, right? Yo, the first time this motherfucker shook my hand, he tried to do that crush shit, like people do like that, right? I said, listen, my man. I said, yo, all that trying to squeeze my hand like that, that's stupid as fuck. If he listening, whatever he know, I told him, I said, yo, if that's what you're trying to bring it, that's something else. You know what I mean? What are you doing? Like shaking my hand, trying to squeeze the fuck out of it. I don't even know. What is that?
I don't like that. Yeah.
So I told him. He was a big.
Shit.
He was like, I picked them things up and put them down. He was like, you're one of them dudes, right? So I was like, yo. I told him straight up. I said, listen, all that trying to crush hand shit, that's some stupid shit, man. The fuck is wrong with you? Oh. I'm like, nah, man. What are you proving? Hey, dude try to squeeze my shit off. And usually, you older and more mature about things. I almost had that reflex to slap him with the other hand.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what are you doing? Like, your body's telling you, like, yo, this is unnecessary pain right now. You know what I mean? Like,
Unnecessary roughness.
Literally the danger zone.
Penalty.
You're like, what the hell is this? This person's squeezing my hand for like no reason. Your brain's telling you right then, like, yo, like I should respond like that. That's just me. But instead, I was verbally like, listen, man. I said, yo, what the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? And he was all happy though, because he had seen me in a couple of movies. And some of those people you'll meet, and every time you see them, they'll say the same thing. Hey, this guy's in movies. Hey, I liked you in that movie. Hey, they're the same thing, but I pick things up and put them down. Crush. Like, that's how he was. Like, he about 6'5". Big old. I'm from Southie. I smoke a pack of cigarettes every 10 minutes. Like, one of them shits, But go ahead, man.
All right, so let's just run through. I got a few old school stories that came to light this week.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah. Hey. I'm not even going to say nothing, right? But
he's going to say something.
I bet you one of them you're going to say, though. But go ahead.
All right, so the first one is, imagine being so... not necessarily bad at rapping, but such an embarrassment now to rappers that you have an "Oh Dirty Bastard" verse in the cut and you can't even put the song out because if you put it out, you're just gonna get completely trashed for it. Vanilla Ice claims that he has an unreleased song with "Old Dirty Bastard" that will never put out, and I think he should. You're probably not gonna sound good on the song Vanilla Ice, but maybe donate it to the culture.
Do a remix.
Give it to the RZA.
Do better.
Give the verse to the RZA or you know what I'm saying? Like, but
the life we live in now.
You think he should give it up?
The life we live in now. If he puts that out, people are consuming it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That's just how it is.
Fine. He'll be fine.
He'd have to rewrite it.
Give him the confidence. Let him have the confidence.
I'm not hating on Vanilla Ice. I'm just saying that I just feel like no one will take a new Vanilla Ice record seriously, but they will all listen to it for the "Old Dirty Bastard" part.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wouldn't we be more welcoming now, supposedly, than we were before?
Yeah.
Probably.
Right?
Probably. Because Vanilla Ice probably be able to go on tour now, the way things go.
Yeah.
But
I would definitely.
Every time I hear the word,
bring it back to the 8th grade.
All right.
Every time I hear the name Vanilla Ice, it always goes with the same things. It goes with my release, a green Cressida, right?
What's that, car?
That's a car,
green Cressida. That's Maria's mom who had that car. The video was playing all the time. And that was the number one top song. And the other top song was And You Don't Want That. I Got the Power. It was them two joints.
Wonderful.
At that time.
It was amazing. Sounds like 1989 to me. That's what it
So
sounds
when you
like.
say
it's getting kind of hectic.
when you say Vanilla Ice,
Kind of heavy.
all those same things come to this, and they come in the picture to me because it's like they're all were together. And I was like, first to be honest with you, when I heard the song, okay, I didn't know he was white when I first heard it, because it was like, doom, 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 the beat was fly. Then you could see the shadows of these dudes dancing, like, and it was nice. They were synchronized. They was dancing, and then I seen them. I said, oh. So in the beginning, he was raw and he was cool, but then when he became himself, like trying to be the pop Elvis and all that, that's when he messed the whole.
He should have
shit
just
up.
used
He was
his real.
trying to be down.
He should have used his real name because it's much harder than Vanilla Ice. Because if he was Robert Van Winkle, he'd still might be on top of the game.
Stop.
But you know what though, D?
Sounds like Rumpelstiltskin's brother.
You know what though, D? One thing about that is that so back then, it's like you had to have your names. I mean, you had to have these rap names, MC names, because the people that might have had their own names, which wasn't many, but the first one that always comes to mind is Eric Sermon. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But most, like everybody else, like who had their real name Rami. You know what I mean? So it's like it was him, and then he brings another dude, Keith Murray.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like
Luke,
that, because one thing
Luke
at one point your names had to have, huh?
Luke was the only one I could think of, but he wasn't his full name. He was just Luke.
Right.
Yeah, that was the only
But
one.
I actually thought it was dope with these dudes' real name. Like even my son does that with Tremaine. But now you can it fits like that. Like you use some of these names because I mean Eric Sermon. My name that's Eric Sermon.
Yeah, Sean
you know
Price.
What I mean? You know in hip hop, huh?
Sean Price. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so
You know what I mean?
let's keep going with these old rumors. This one, I don't like this one. I think this one sucks.
Uh-oh.
But DMC claims
Danger zone.
that Run DMC.
Hey, D, before you finish, that's the one. But go ahead.
Okay. DMC claims that Run DMC were supposed to be in the car with Tupac the night he got killed.
Right.
So they're gonna be 3 deep in the back. What was gonna go on there?
That doesn't make sense.
They're too rich and famous to sit
and the reason
three
why-
deep in the back seat of Suge Knight's car.
And the reason why they didn't go is because Jay takes forever to get dressed. He has to lay his clothes out, rest in peace.
Yeah.
And it takes forever, and they're used to that. So they said, you guys go ahead on. Man, the story's weird, but at the same time, right? At the same time, like I got a bunch of stories too, and I know a lot of them shits be sounding like mad crazy, but they be a lot more.
I
Well,
personally,
Suburban? What kind of car was it?
yeah, there was just I personally think it was probably more like, yeah, we're rolling to this place. Come with us, not get in the car with us, because there's no way that Run DMC would be sitting sitting like this in the back of someone's car at the fame that they had and who they were. There's no way.
It just doesn't
Like, there's
sound
no way that
So
they
let
were
me tell you,
getting in
let me
that
tell you
car.
something about that. Yo, D, let me tell you something about that.
He's
though.
gonna bring back
So
his
you-
Air Italia story and him.
Yo.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, you absolutely.
Y'all stink.
You're absolutely right. Like D, you're absolutely right. But yo, for a fact though, there's been situations where we hopped in cars like that, and trust me, we didn't have to be Run MC, but the money and the tour and everything, the money was good, and we had cars that we could jump in, but
Yeah.
you would jump in with someone else. So that's why I could see that happen.
Yeah.
Because I've been in the car, I've been shoulder to shoulder with Guru, me, and Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Shoulder to shoulder in the back of a car. Like on some old just going to this spot, and then we took a limo back from the spot. Or I've been in the back with you name it, man. I think of whoever else, man. I'm just saying, we didn't have to be in the back of these cars, but we were, because we were going to this next thing. So I can see it happening, but I just don't know.
I could say
and
this
that's why
about
with
that.
these
I've never been
With these
going
stories-
into the limo to hang out, but
Yo,
I
listen,
have jumped in the
we
car.
went to
and
North Carolina. We were in North Carolina, and I'm telling you, somebody drove us to promote, or whoever it was, drove us to this after party. And me, Guru, and almost like a cab or two promoters in the front. Me, Google, rest in peace, Tupac, rest in peace, in the back of this shit like this. The limo comes after. So Tupac didn't want to go in because they said we had to have shoes at first. Then he got all loud like Tupac, like how y'all know. Man, fuck this club, you know. So then they said, just relax. And we was on some relax shit, whatever. And me and Guru went in, but he said, y'all go ahead on, man. I'm good. I ain't going to this shit. And he took the limo back after that. But we definitely was in the back of a small car going to this shit. We could have drove in anything. You know what I mean? But go ahead.
Well, the last thing I want to say about that, I just thought of this now, is how crazy is that 30 years or however many years it's been since that night, we're just now finding out Run DMC was there. You know
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It's like
That wasn't in the documentary.
yeah, like how
What do you
does this just come out? You know what I mean? That's
Well,
crazy shit.
here's how I could probably combat that or with that. Two things. One thing, man, you know, when him and Run, you know, he's been doing a lot of stuff by himself. He was even at that LL show doing his parts, and LL and Black Thought were doing Run's parts.
Yeah,
right?
because at that concert this summer at Yankee Stadium, it was the last Run DMC show, and what happened? It was the last Run DMC show, and now DMC's just performing on his own.
Right. So maybe it's something that they didn't speak on or whatever, because there's some stories that I know, and I'm sure others that haven't come out yet, and I believe someday that they will. You know, I just like, when it comes to our story as far as Gang Starr or whatever, I want us to be the ones to navigate the movie and control the narrative of the movie. Not like when we gone and someone else makes the movie, because then that's when them little potholes and different shit comes in. So, like, I know there's a lot of stories that people have, you know what I'm saying? Like when you hear this shit now, like Puff Daddy, P. Diddy going through all of that stuff and whatever, and
now everyone's saying, "Oh, we already knew that."
Just fight for the creative control of that movie. Sorry, just get the creative control of the movie and be listed as producers. Because if you're not, they're gonna be like, "All right, so what happened, Big Suge? All right, so I came into this Chinese restaurant and I couldn't see the chef, so I slapped the guy." And they'll be like, "Well, in the movie, maybe you should punch the guy, or maybe you should throw him over the counter, or you know what I mean?" That's how that gets taken away from you by people who invest in films. You have to.
You can't tell it.
Maintain creative
because
control.
I guarantee you. So if someone tells the movie without me being a part of it, or whatever, even though I had some tactics or certain things that I might have done, they're gonna make you. I know they're gonna make you think that I was Suge Knight, and with the stuff that was going on as far as, you know what I mean, someone else telling it, because I've seen it in interviews. I've seen it in with his menacing, hulking figure at 6'7". Dude, you know I ain't 6'7". So I'm saying, like that's how people tell these stories, right? You know what I mean? And I think like that. And people, and even with me, with my career, I went through my career as Big Suge, right? At the same time, when there was another Suge, who was Suge Knight.
Yeah, Suge Knight.
You see what I'm saying? Where people were always like, "Oh, it's like Suge Knight," but it never was in publications. We're like, "Well, this dude ain't really Suge," or "This dude," you talk about me, because we were in the light pretty much too. So it's not like, you know, it was weird. It's not like I'm gonna change my name or nothing. We rolled that right out, like boom. You know what I'm saying? To the point, like now, motherfuckers is like,
it was spelled different.
If they don't know me, yeah, my name's Suge.
It was spelled
like Suge Knight. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it was spelled different, and
it
it was a different name. The only thing you guys shared was the nickname of your nickname. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Suge.
You know that people would call you Suge. Like when my phone rings, do I say it's Suge or do I say Big Suge? You say Big Suge. What do I say?
I always say Big Suge.
But like it's Suge. Like I don't know. That's the only thing you guys shared was the nickname of your nickname. You know what I mean? That's it. Like your name, his name wasn't Big Suge Knight, and your name wasn't, Suge Guy. It was.
Right.
Okay,
you know
we get your point. At the end, you killed it. You ran it over.
The funny thing about it is, because people know no better, so people, even on my social medias where it says Big Suge, SHUG,
Yeah.
Mhm.
they'll still write, when they're writing to me, Suge, SHUGG, SUGE. SUG. It's crazy when you see it right there. But I mean,
dude,
the thing about it, when you do Google Suge, when you do Google me, whatever, I'm still the one that's like at the top of all the names and all everything as far as with that popularity. So that's cool. You know what I mean? It is what it is. You made a little mark. So
I have fans. I have fans for years. It's like some of these people who are fans from not from my music, from videos specifically, that think my name is Master DL.
Yes, Master.
Still to this day, like, oh, I love this video. Oh, it's Master DL. I'm like, what the fuck?
He's a ninja master.
It just blows my mind that's how some people read it that way. For real, they do.
You know, it's funny.
And I don't understand why.
It's funny because people want to call you that, but with me, because of Facebook and different other stuff, they think they can call me like my real name, like, you know, my government name, like your boys though, whatever. You know, it's open book. My name's Kerry. Yeah. You know, and motherfuckers say, "Hey, Kerry guy, hey," and I look at them always like the crazy. You probably can cut through them with the way I look, and I say, "Listen, I mean, I don't know you like that," or I just ignore them. I won't, because it's like you don't know, and it be people that know you as Suge, right? And what they're trying to do, because as the years go by, everybody has stories. Everybody like has these incredible stories, grow life and grow different whatever over the years. Like I met Suge back and so on. Oh, didn't you say you went to school with him? So I know, okay, if you want to use that, that's cool. When you get to this certain age, there's people that always take a part of you, and there's some memory that they even created themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like I might have slapped him in the neck every time I seen him. But now we used to eat lunch together in school like every day. Yeah. So I know stuff. And sometimes I run into that shit and I won't even blow them up. I just let them, like they'll tell Phil, like, oh, we go back from being kids. I'm 15 years older. Like, so dude, if I was hanging with you, like, come on now. You see what I'm saying? But I just let people
Somebody should come and lock you up.
Yeah, my last name is Latch, and I remember in high school or that age, people used to like yell that as my last name, like, oh, like that didn't really know me but knew me from school. And I used to hate that shit. I'd be like, hey, I'm not in the military, you're not in the military, so don't be calling me like shouting out my last name in public.
Don't be telling my government, even though you just said it to the world.
Yeah, like, no, I mean, I don't care anymore, but back then I did. I don't care anymore, really.
It's like okay, DL. Your name is always DL to me. I don't know your real name.
That's been my name for...
Samesies.
That's been my name for... before I even knew it was a slang for gay. Like, no matter when people hate me on the internet, it's the first thing they do is the like Mr. DL. Wonder what that means. And I'm like, I wonder, man. Hey. I wonder. Never heard that one before, bro.
Yo, you know what's funny? So DL told me that his last name's Latch, but when anybody looks at that, you know how when people see your name to be a certain way, so that it can't be pronounced that way. I know people like, yo, this is David Locke, or this, you know what I mean?
All the time.
I've definitely spelled it wrong in my head then if it's not that way.
Yeah, okay. I got it my whole life, and my whole life, and I was always so annoyed by it because I was like, they say Locke, they say it all the time, Locke.
That would not be
and
my
I was like,
guess,
yo,
though.
My last name is 4 letters. It's only 4 letters, and I always use church as an example. Like, how do you pronounce that word? Do you say Kirk or church? What do you say? So why does CH to you in America? Why does CH? I could see if you lived in like Ireland or Germany or something that makes a different sound, but over here, why you see it and you make a K sound? I don't know. I never understood that shit.
The crazy thing too is when it's like
in America,
someone says, "What's your name?" And I say, Suge. Right to them. I go, Suge. And they're like, Shoe? I'm like, yo, I didn't even, yo, I've never even said, the shit don't even sound the same. You know what I mean? But, and this is not in the hip hop genre or in my musical life,
it's
whatever.
Everywhere.
This is in the daily type shit. If someone said, hey, what's your name? Or could be like an older Caucasian person or whatever. And they're like, what's your name? I'm like, Suge. Shoe? I'm like, yo, they really ain't. And then sometimes I'll be letting them call me that to the next time they see me when they say, hey, Shoe. And then I got to tell them, like, listen, if you don't want me to put one of those up your ass, right, you better call me Suge.
Tanya be like, Tanya's the worst with that shit. She'll be like, introduce me to someone in her family, like a grandmother or something, and be like, "This is Mr. DL."
I don't say the Mister. Stop. I just be like, "This is DL." No, more times than not, I will ask him how you want to be introduced. Like what
true.
name?
Yeah.
What name? That's how I say it, because I always call him DL.
Yeah.
Well, when I go on the regular walks of life and supermarkets and different shit, so every once in a while, I'll get one of these silly mofos to be like, "Hey, you look like Mr. T."
Yeah.
Right? Hey, and the comeback that I hit them with all the time that turns a lot of faces red, or they just feel mad stupid, right? And then so they'll say, I say, you know what? It's funny, because only older white people say that to me, right? And they just turn red on the spot, right? And then they're trying to clean it up now. So now they clean it up and they say something stupid like, "Hey, well, it's a good thing." I said, "Well, it's not really a good thing. He's fucking 5'11". I'm 6'3".
I got the best comeback.
And he's old. And I'm saying, and then they're like, so now they don't know what to say, because now I didn't take it like, hey, because I've heard that shit way too much, and
I got the best comeback now.
I think he does look like Mr. T.
I got the best comeback
I
for
love
you now.
Mr. T.
Just from now on, when they say that to you, be like, I appreciate it. I'm getting older. I'm trying to get away from that character, but I appreciate it. Thank you very much. And just walk away. And they'll be like, "Oh, it is Mr. T."
He looks so good.
Hey, DL, you don't know how many times.
Yo, Big Sugar, all I gotta say is, when they call you for casting for the Mr. T biography, no digas nada, because I agree with those Caucasian older people. I love me the motherfucking A-Team, okay? And listen, if someone told me that I look like B.I. Baracus, I'd be like, yes, I made it.
But see, here's the thing. So the first time I ever heard it,
but, close.
I heard it a lot.
Yeah.
I heard it a lot
when you were
when I was 19 and stuff like that, because I was, still the football body, and I used to wear mad chains back then too, just period. But I didn't have no mohawk and that. They say, "Hey, you look like Mr. T." I'm like,
what exactly?
But when you hear it now,
what is it exactly? Is it about that bothers you? Is it that it's mostly older Caucasian people? So now you think they're saying that
you can say crackers?
No. That
black people look the same?
Or you're so similar that you look like this guy. Or is it because you want your own identity and you're like, no, I'm Big Suge, I'm not Mr. T. Like when they tell you, you're so and so's little sister.
So you have to remember one thing.
Yes, sir.
So I have my own identity. So that's not even in the equation. The thing with me is the fact that you can go through all the people and say to me, "Hey, you look like Mr. T." Well, in a nutshell, he got mad chains on. I got one or two usually. He has a mohawk, which I never have, and I'm 6'3", and this dude is 5'11". It's so much first of all, when my kids were little, the two older ones, they lived in Foxborough, right? They lived in Foxborough, out that way, North Alabama way. Every damn day, damn near almost. Yo, I played for the Patriots for 10 years, more than that.
We got so many free things. It was amazing.
I mean, and plus people, they pull you over. Listen, they pull you over, right? I got pulled over literally right on Route 1.
All the time.
Tell me, which one are you? I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? I was like, people even brought, there used to be a wide receiver, high yellow. His name was Terry Glenn.
I remember him.
The dude came up to me at the airport with the newspaper with his picture and said, "Is this you?" Yo, I swear to God, I'm like, "What'd you say, man? Look at that picture again." You know what I'm saying? I'm like, well, one of my before I get off it, one of my best Patriot stories. One of my best Patriot stories was I was in Honeydew, and I
Honeydew Donuts for those of you who don't live in the area.
So it was yeah. I'm driving up to it, and I was smoking. I was smoking a little weed or something. So then these kids spot me. I got on like my fur coat or whatever. And these kids spot me and they're like jumping up and down and looking and whatever. And I
we
said,
found the pimp. No.
I'm trying to clear the car because it's a little smoky. And I'm like, and the mothers are the ones like giving them the paper and the pen or whatever to run over to me. And I'm like, yo, get out of here. Whatever I do. Like, no, we just want your autograph. I said, for what? Right? Like, I know what's up. They said, no. And then they got close to the car. Maybe they're 10, 11, something like that. And I was like, I don't play for the Patriots. I said, I don't play for the Patriots. Like, and then when they went back and said something to their mother and whatever, and then these kids, while I drove out of the place, they're up and down. Fuck you. They give me the finger and shit and say, like, fuck you. I was like, yo, I'm just trying to tell y'all, man.
I don't know what's worse, you telling them the truth or you making their day.
I'm not. I just recently went somewhere. Look at this. You know how old I am? I just recently went somewhere, and
is that gonna be in the movie?
She says, this woman says to me, hey, I'm feeling like I'm in Foxborough. Right? And I'm like, I know what's coming. I'm like, first of all, that's funny. I said, what do you mean? Right? I was actually at a facility making a visit, penile. So I said, what do you mean? She says, well, I'm not sure you could be a player or not. I was like, how many people play at the age that I am, And she was like, oh, well, I thought, so that part got me because I'm like, come on, kid. Matter of fact, when she said it to me, DL, I'm looking around. Like she said, I feel like there's a player around me. I'm like, oh, for real?
She's like, yeah,
she's talking about me. And she might have been about 77. So I don't, you know what I mean?
Listen, so maybe to her, you look like a young chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, if I'm playing for the Patriots, they're not even 2-10. You know what I'm saying?
That's why she thought you were.
It's not happening. And you see that commercial where dudes are like, let's come out of retirement? Have you seen that?
Oh,
no, not yet.
I love it.
Who's in it?
I love it.
I haven't seen
Did
it.
you see that deal?
No, not yet.
I think Dan Marino's in that one. Yeah, I've seen it.
Who else? Barry
Sanders?
Not Barry Sanders. Emmitt Smith.
Yeah.
A few of them, did they go out there? They get smashed and all that. They said, nah.
Yeah.
And they say, let's not. Like, unretired. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's bad. It's a good commercial, man. But
just on another note, just want to say Rico's, they still have the best little cookies, and I got them for free all the time with you when I was little, and I loved it. At Rico's.
Oh yeah. Oh,
it's still there all the time.
Rico's is a classic, right? So check it, Tanya DL. So Maria's mother takes me to this place. And they say, hey, they have the greatest steak and cheese, the best steak and cheese. And so Maria was little then, so we go. I bought a steak and cheese, and I was like, damn, this steak and cheese tastes weird, right? And then they say to me, her and her sister, they go, oh, no, that's how it is. That's how it's supposed to be. I said, listen, there's something on here that's not supposed to be on here. And they're like, no, that's the way it is. So then we go to Rico's, and I go in there, and I says, listen, what do you put on a steak and cheese? Like asking the person, if you remember, it was the same woman with blonde hair, like for years. Yeah. She might have been affiliated. She always
probably was an owner. Yeah.
So she tells everything. Well, we put salt, pepper, whatever on the steak, and then she said oregano. Right? When she said oregano, I said, that's it right there. Give me a steak and cheese and onion with no oregano. And then your mom was actually like, yeah, this does taste better. But I'm saying, if you don't know, like I couldn't believe it when I bit this. I was like, "What the hell? Like, what's on it?"
His taste buds told him there's something different here.
That's like there's so many stories, but there's another one I won't get into where there was celery in the potato salad. So I mean, like they say, when something's crunchy and something that's supposed to be soft, it's throwing you off. You know what I'm saying? You're like, yo, wait a minute. When you eat ice cream, yo, we gotta put that you eat some ice cream. If you're eating ice cream and all of a sudden it goes, and you don't know nothing,
it's not some of that pretzels in there. It might be.
You're like, yo, what is this? A toenail? Nah,
That's
not
what we
happening.
call in the industry a physical contaminant.
Oh,
Oh, do we all eat ice cream here?
hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
You're making me want to have
You
ice
did?
cream right now.
Yeah, same.
Right?
We had
Oh,
some
no,
good
hold up.
ice
Y'all
cream-
ain't gonna-
We had some good ice cream
y'all ain't
sandwiches
gonna
the
have
other
ice
day.
cream.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta have the entree first. Then you'll have ice cream.
No, we were good.
we ate today.
We ate before.
Yeah. Ice cream
Oh,
sounds
that's-
good as
yo.
hell.
Yeah.
Hey, yo. Oh, wait a minute. Y'all ate?
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Now that we're talking about ice cream, everybody needs to share their favorite ice cream. I will start.
Hold on. I got one question. Y'all ate already?
Yeah.
Yes, Big Sugar.
Yo, I'm getting pumped. No, hold up. Wait a minute. What y'all hold up. What's the deal here? So, hold on.
A
Y'all
well-oiled
don't eat like this.
machined.
Yeah.
It's
We
too
were
early
ready
for y'all to
today
eat.
for the podcast.
Yeah, we
Nah,
got.
I'm messing with you. Listen,
and we
but
took a nap. What?
Oh, gee. Yo, listen, when I came,
We
The
be
funny thing about
napping,
y'all-
adult napping.
the funny thing about when I even first started saying that is how we would just be doing the show, talking, laughing, maybe a beat or something come on DL place or whatever and stuff. And then at one moment, you're like, what do we eat, babe? Like that shit just it just clicks on. It's like we're chill as shit. Food ain't been spoken at all, period.
Listen,
All of a sudden,
you know,
I get up, I'm about to go downstairs. You guys go.
it's
click.
like when you go into a routine, like you have a coworker, and you know at 8:15, you guys just synchronize and know that you're always gonna meet at the coffee machine.
See, I'll tell you.
Sometimes you synchronize stomachs when you're on the same routine as somebody else.
Also, what it is there's a lot of setup for the podcast over here. Like, there's a lot to set up and wires and all that shit. So it takes like I don't know, like an hour and a half just to set up
Yeah.
all the shit. Because
Whoa.
I use the same equipment for my studio as I do for the podcast, and I gotta.
Dedication, Dio.
But
He's smooth.
things gotta
Amazing.
be moved around.
I was gifted
Oh.
by my homie. We're gonna give him a shout out on when I start using it.
Homie the clown.
A big board,
Oh.
a soundboard, a visual board to change screens, all that shit. It's a
It's
lot.
going to
Yo.
get
It's a lot to figure out,
fancy
but
here.
I will figure it out. And once
I don't
we
know
do,
why I'm being so
once we
saucy.
figure it
I
out, we'll give him a
appreciate-
You're thinking about the ice cream still.
facts.
Well, listen.
I'm like a
listen,
little kid
though.
now.
The
I'm
fun-
like, squirrel.
the thing I like about y'all. The thing I like about it though is the funny part. Thing is there's humor in it is because so it'll come to that food point, but then DL might say, "Yo, you know, say you want what you doing? You want 99 or Five Guys? What do you want to do? You want to do?" And then you're never like really against anything. Like you're like, sounds good to me.
because
And then
at that point,
you
it's
got-
at that point it's like 8:00 at night and we haven't eaten yet, and we're just like food.
Yeah.
Starving.
Food in face.
It's like,
yes,
feed me, Seymour.
the
That's
best
what-
meme
I
ever.
think
There's a girl and
I
she's
think
on.
it's dope though. I make a joke out of it. I make joke, but it'd be dope to me because it's like it's just okay. Whatever you're saying right now, Shook. Whatever you're saying is like, so what? We're about to go get something.
We're about to get some ice cream in the wind.
Yo, go to your ice cream.
And it snowed today.
So what would you say about ice cream?
What?
What's your
would you say
favorite?
talking about the
What's
ice
your
cream?
favorite? It could be very favorite flavor and or brand. Mine specifically, my go-to number one. Ain't nobody gonna knock it. Haagen-Dazs chocolate chip, chocolate ice cream, dark chocolate chips, and they're not chips like little drops. They're like little rectangles. And they're thin.
So
Chunks. They're chunks.
that's your
They're thick.
favorite.
That's my favorite.
That's your favorite. That's your favorite ice cream, right?
That's my favorite.
So I go around the board. What's your favorite ice cream concoction?
I would want any type of chocolate ice cream. So a lot of times they'll do like brownie and fudge and chocolate on a brownie with whipped cream. I would like some walnuts and peanuts. I like the contrast. And then a drizzle of chocolate syrup and a drizzle of caramel syrup. Tell me if I'm not serious about my ice cream. What? I did not hesitate. Let's go.
So Maria. So
Wow.
what's your
I
what
am so
favorite ice
late. so lame compared to that.
You ain't got to be me, girl. Be you.
Coffee Toffee Crunch
Oh,
is my go-to. I love the coffee ice
who makes
creams.
that?
I'm gonna go any.
What brand makes that? That sounds yum.
I think Friendlies.
Okay.
Like some sort of
Okay.
And I like it when it's like either like Dairy Queen, like a Blizzard, like all whipped up with extra toffee pieces.
So what about
Get that laughing toffee.
Is that also your concoction or that's your ice cream?
Yeah, it's both.
So when I say concoction too, it's like how she put it together, or if somebody likes a banana split, or someone likes even a ice cream float or whatever, some shit. So
yeah, I like a Blizzard. I like it all mixed up, but it's all the same. It's like a coffee ice cream base with toffee pieces, whatever, wherever, however, just give it to me like that.
Okay.
So where you at, DL?
So Maria, before you can take any ice cream. This is what I do with my ice cream. I take the ice cream, I put it in a bowl or a cup or whatever. I heat the spoon. I heat
buddy, the danger zone.
I heat the spoon under the hot water. I dry it off, and then I whip the ice cream myself every time.
Okay.
So I always have like a little.
All right.
But all time,
I like it Stoopy ice cream. That's what I like.
Yeah,
like
I
soft
just
serve with my
whip
heart.
it.
Yeah.
Whip it real good.
in the trap. So I all time, I'm gonna say anything mint chocolate chip related. Like it could be like mint chocolate brownie or mint chocolate this, but mint chocolate chip probably all time. Favorite way to eat ice cream would either be a milkshake, which is or the cookie sundae where they get the hot chocolate chip cookie, the scoop of vanilla ice cream, and the hot fudge.
Skillet cookie
That's
with ice cream on top.
Yeah,
Love it.
exactly.
So
All right, Big Shug.
with me, so believe it or not, I like a lot of ice creams, strawberry, chocolate, whatever. But I'm basic on the favorite ice cream because the favorite ice cream to me is always still a vanilla ice cream or what's the other one? Or French vanilla. Like I always like vanilla that. You know? But my concoction is called Death by Chocolate. What Death by Chocolate is a double chocolate cake, 4 layers with chocolate frosting, nice big slice with a scoop of vanilla ice cream in the middle and warm chocolate syrup over it. And this is called Death by Chocolate. So
It's called diabetes.
Diabetes. I love it.
Diabetes.
Oh my God, that sounded yum. I think I'm gonna add it to mine. Like
Diabetes.
a piece of cake on top of a
yo,
brownie.
Y'all are most definitely getting ice cream after this.
Oh, we know for a fact.
Yeah.
And I don't even think we might even go to like an ice cream place. They'll be like, yo, give me that brownie with that chocolate.
Let me
ice
get that.
cream. Let me get
Yo,
that.
I used to like.
They love
Yo, you
people
know,
like
Tom-
us in the winter, Big Shug. They're like, yes, these are our
Right?
kind of people.
Ice cream in the winter.
I love
it.
ice
Yo.
cream in the winter.
You know what I always liked about
Cold and cold
ice cream?
cancels out.
Well, one thing I liked about ice cream, like, is the process of it. Like when I came up, so they used to have ice cream at the drugstore. So, and the way the dudes would
It wasn't on a cart with a horse?
Court.
An ice block?
Nah, that was before. But they would open these little cases. Like they still do some of them places, but they have these cases they would open and dig in and get your ice cream. Like you'd be like,
Armpit
little
deep.
scoops.
Yep.
Or they'd be digging down there. So that was big. Like now, they got those big tubs, those big old containers, and they're digging in them. It's still almost similar, but it was as a kid,
Rubbing their arms all on the
The
side.
armpit is like right in the.
Rubbing their arm hair all up on the ice cream.
all up in rubbing their armpit all up in the ice cream video.
All up in the ice cream video.
Did
Yeah,
you see that? Did you see that Suge Knight video I sent you?
Yeah.
What the hell was that?
Okay,
Did
you're talking
you-
about something
hey.
that Rhea and I didn't see. That's not helpful.
I'll play it.
Yo,
That's
Suge
not fair.
Knight though, the dude was always like, even though he was doing his thing, he still was hilarious because there was some shit that he did that he would just say,
Yeah.
and you were like, cause they had made a series of tapes at one point, and he was like, this was years ago when he first broke up with Dre. They separating the company. And I remember him saying, Dre, one day we were by ourselves. And he told me, I wish I was white.
Yeah.
Right? So the dude taking the interview, right? The dude doing the interview is like, so he told you that? But you know it's so false sounding. Yeah, like you know that like that's not what he said. Like
it could have been this. It could have been something as easy as this. Man, if I was white, it wouldn't have taken this long for me to break through with this record. And he was like, he wishes he was white.
and he said it like I said, right? He said it like
he said it with like a false falsetto voice.
No, he said it was a calm video, like how Vlad does them shits. Yeah. It was like that, and dude just said, he says, hey, I wish I was white. And then the dude says, he said that to you? Right? And then the same video was when these other two dudes, they was country as hell. They was talking about people was up in he said they would come up to Death Row and people was getting their asses whipped. They said it just like that, right? And I was like, I watched this same video. And they said, well, you getting the answers. What do you mean? He said, well, they go in there, they said they want to rap for sure, get the proof, right? And they be 2 bars in, and they start whipping that. And I'm like, wow, like, what the hell was going on at Death Row? This was the same tape. You know what I mean?
Probably
so it was like it was entertainment. You know what I mean? This tape, but I just remember them dudes saying, oh, one more. Did you see that Keith Murray? Well, I don't know why they keep interviewing this dude, but have you seen those? So he goes in and he says, yo, one time Suge came in and he gets up and he's all
animated,
showing like demonstrating. And he's like, yo, he looked crazy already. That was my man back in the day. Now I don't know what's up with him, but he said, Suge came over to Puffy and smacked the shit out of Puffy. He said like that. He said he caught him like from here. Like the dude did the whole shit, right? He was like,
I didn't see that.
He caught him from here. I'm like imagining if this shit really happened. Like, because if Suge really did slap him like that, he's gonna spin around about 4 or 5 times. But I mean, if this didn't happen, you'd be crazy to be like, why are you telling a story like that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, and a lot of shit happened behind closed doors.
Listen, sometimes we hear stories and we're like, that's crazy, that can't be. And next thing you know, somebody tries to write a book. So,
I know a high level rapper, man, for real. He got his head ran into the soundboard. Bow, 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 bow. Like, and he be spitting hard lyrics supposedly now. So, I mean, whatever was going on behind them closed doors, people really didn't know. Now you know everything because that's all people do. Look at Charles Somebody on shows talking about, I want people to do this. I want people to do this to me and do that, like, because he just want to sue you and get money. So, like, they ain't messing with him. Like, it's crazy, man. But you got anything over there in the basket?
No, I'm good. I think we're good. I think it's that time of the week.
Yeah, we haven't done that part yet.
Why don't you get your...
Yeah, well, so, for my story...
No, it's okay.
My Sherry O'More, milky as a holiday. Hey, yo. So, I dug into my Florida bag this week.
Oh, my God.
And if you know anything about it, the Florida man threw a fit at a fast food restaurant because the eatery didn't have any, drum roll, lettuce to put on his sandwich. According to the Largo Police Department, police said they were called to Checkers, if anybody knows about Checkers, on Omerton Road around 11:30 p.m. on November 4th after employees reported that Henry Ars, his name is Ars, Caballero, 49, was beating on the glass window of the drive-thru and screaming at employees because they didn't have any lettuce to put on his sandwich. The employees said they were afraid for their safety of themselves and other customers. That's what the record shows. Police said when they arrived, our man Ars Caballero was uncooperative and denied the allegations. According to the affidavit, Ars Caballero also refused to provide his driver license after an officer repeatedly asked him, which resulted in the officer opening the door and escorting him out of the vehicle. Out of the vehicle. Records show he tried to pull his arm away. The officer was placing him into custody, but he stopped resisting once he was placed in handcuffs. He's facing charges of resisting an officer without violence and disorderly conduct. Although it's unclear if it's related to the FDA recently announced 3,396 cartons of lettuce potentially contaminated with the E. coli have been recalled across the country. So our boy this week, stupid as hell because they didn't have any lettuce to put on his sandwich, is the man with the name of the year.
Arse.
When you act like an arse, you'll be an arse. Arse Cavallero, you are this week's stupid as hell.
So here's a question.
And the moral of the story is,
moral.
What, DL?
No, go ahead. Do the moral.
No, what's the moral? I'm just trying to get it from you.
Oh, don't be an arse.
The moral of the story is make sure you eat before your blood sugar crashes.
Yeah.
And that way you won't go out of control. Because that person was hangry.
We got one. Hey, Maria, you got one?
That's like when you go and ask for the milkshake and they tell you that the milkshake machine is broken.
Yo.
Oh.
Maria,
McDonald's every time?
Yeah.
You got a moral of the story?
Oh, that the restaurant probably saved his life because he didn't get E. coli from the contaminated lettuce.
Boom.
See what I'm saying?
Boom.
And at the beginning of the day and the end of the day, your man's name is Arse.
Oh, okay.
Yo.
So I
hey.
have a question about this. I don't know, it just popped into my mind. When we were young and the police pulled up and everyone ran away, right? Was that a felony?
No, that was not me.
Well,
by the way.
all right. Well,
Supposedly.
was that a felony? Is that a felony when they is that a felony? I don't know. Is that a felony?
I mean, no, because it's been depicted of like the only time that you should be running away or you might even been running away was because you did something or you have warrants. So that's usually how that was. If you were doing something if there was you weren't doing anything wrong, you wasn't running. You know what I mean? Unless somewhere you were at and they probably shot people for sport, you might run. As we seen with that Chicago police officer telling that man to run and shooting him in the back. So, but normally when people run, like, here's another thing. Sometimes police officers could get a little power heavy.
Sometimes.
And I remember I would see them yell at people and I'd be like, man, I never have a dude yelling at me. And so I had an officer once say to me, he was letting all the cars go through where it said, do not go, When he got to my car, he jumps in front of it. And he says, which part do you don't understand? The do not or enter or whatever. I says, like 5 cars went before me. And he was letting them. And I said, what? He says, you're going to drive around that way. And if you don't, you stay here, I'm going to rip your hands off of the steering wheel and lay you down on the ground over there and put you under arrest. So, if I was an owl and my head could fully go all the way around, that's basically when he was talking, when he said that to me. I'm looking all around in my car. And I says, there was 2 more officers on the detail. I said, you, him, and a couple of them couldn't take me out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying, right? And I pulled my car over to the lot on the side, and called the station ahead to just be like, yo, I know this dude works with you, man, but you can't be talking to people like that. It ain't gonna happen. They say to me, oh, well, I don't want to call you a liar, but I don't think he said that. I said, dude, why would I stop here to even let you know this is some corny shit right here? You probably worked with him for 30 years. I'm just letting you know. The reason why I told the story is because, like, sometimes people think that, like, you can say whatever just because you're a police officer. But, like, we're humans. Like, so, I'm going to be like, you say something to me, you yell at me, I'm yelling at you. You got something to say to me. When I'm in my right, I'm always going to speak like that. And we should, because we're human beings. All that, like, shut up, or listen to me, like, that never should be happening because we're not inhumane. It's two people trying to communicate, and their job is to help us. You know what I mean? So if we doing the right thing, it's all good. You know what I mean? But if not, Run, hot peas and butter. You know what I'm saying? So, we out. But anyway, it's been another good episode.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was good. It was a long one. That was tight, though.
Hey.
I got a
What goes
shit,
next?
baby.
P. Diddy was safe again.
Yo, what goes after that? Y'all don't know?
What?
Y'all knows. Hey.
Smoke weed every
Every
day.
day.
It's my kid who doesn't even like inhale.
Doesn't do anything.
She's the one.
It's so funny
DL knows
because
that's
on the
DL.
radio it says, hey, smoke every day. But that's
That's
worse.
worse.
That's worse, I
Hey,
think.
yo.
Yeah.
Hey, DL. And on the radio, it's like, that you say, hey. Every day. Yo, man. But anyway, you know what? Speaking of that, before we get out of here, I always like when they put something there, when they break songs out, like, you know, when they do over curse
Like when
words.
they do the radio
Like-
version, the radio edit version.
I like
Like Premiere
sound.
does,
I
like-
always like sound.
Robot
You know,
sounds and shit like that.
yeah, like when what's his name, Pharoah Monch, that was one of my favorite ones when they say rub on your chest and all that, and it goes, ladies, rub on your right. It got that little horn, right, and like the bike horn, or Wu-Tang does the sword shit.
Yeah,
To me, that I always love that, man. With that, we do get creative like that. You know, when it's quiet, it's kind of weird. You know what I'm saying? Like
Then
like,
your mind definitely wanders. Like,
Yeah, you're like-
what goes in there? What are they saying?
My mom,
Charlie,
a
the
two.
next time they have the carnival, you're gonna have like a bag full of teddy bears, and you're gonna have rings for the kids, and you're gonna be like,
I was like, what?
yo,
Say what now?
here you go,
The danger zone.
and they gotta get 3 rings on. They gotta get 3 rings on, and they get a bear. If they miss, oh well.
Oh,
they
he's
pay.
talking about my bun.
Bun.
Yeah,
My
and
bun got
it's come
some.
full circle.
Bad bun.
There we go.
For bad bun.
Full circle.
Yo, you know what's so funny though? One time I might have told you before. So you ever went to the those carnivals or whatever, and they got those baskets, and they would say get this many balls in the basket, and then you could win, you know, whatever. You ever seen that? You know what I'm talking about? Look like
Yeah.
a beach baskets.
Yeah.
And what happened was the ball would bounce out, right?
Mhm.
So they had all these ridiculous big prizes and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I would take my kids to, where did we go? What was that called in Foxborough? Fun, what was that?
Oh, the one in Foxborough? I don't remember what it was called. I know Kids Day was in North Attleboro, but
Was it fun? No, it wasn't fun. I forget what it's called.
I don't remember that one.
So when
of it.
I would bring them there, and one time we went, and the dude says to me, "Yo, this is what you do," and he leaned forward a little bit and was throwing the balls in. They were all going in there. So I couldn't play them because he showed me. So next time you go, this is what you do. And then I realized afterwards, they started having that signs with no leaning over, right? You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And I said, oh, because I mean, they had PlayStation type stuff and all that kind of stuff. And it was so easy to do that once he showed me, you know what I'm saying? So I Carrie, you know how Carrie was, or how he thought, like young, he was always like thinking he's like, well, we go to the next one. Like, we'll get it. And I remember we did go to one, I seen the sign, I'm like, yo, we can't, because it was easy. Once he showed me, all your balls go in the basket. You know what I mean? So, but my kids used to get them all the time because they would have that woman walking around trying to guess my age and weight. Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
And you guys
I
are like,
love
do
that
it,
one.
do it,
That's my
'cause you already
favorite.
do
In
it.
2015,
You may be wrong.
in
My
2015,
kids do that all the time.
speaking of falling over the edge like that, in 2015, a guy fell over the edge in Atlanta, booing A-Rod. He died. Do you remember that? A-Rod,
Yes,
A-Rod
I
came up
remember
to
that.
a plate, and the guy was leaning over, booing him, and he fell and died.
That's horrible.
Yo, that's like that woman. I think it was a Super Bowl or one of them games. They dropped her from a helicopter and she hit the ground. She was dead
Oh,
on
goodness.
impact.
Oh my
But they pulled her
god.
ass right up.
And I bet they played
They
the game
pulled her-
after still.
Yo, they pulled her right up, and that was announced later on what happened. But
Yeah,
you can see when she dropped with that
I'm
punch.
sure.
Think of it like
And you know how
when
they are.
Rest in
You know how
peace.
they are with that. Like, remember that wrestler?
Yeah.
His heart is open, and you see
I'm just
that.
gonna say
He
that.
fell all the
Was
way
it
down.
was Bret Hart?
Owen Hart.
Owen Hart.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh," He just and you know something. He wasn't even screaming like he went down like that was part of what was going on.
Yeah.
He knew he was gonna die.
He probably thought it was gonna catch him.
As the fans, you never know. You never know. Was that part of the act? And everyone, says, "Oh, wrestling's fake." Yeah, it is fake, but
they're athletes.
But I will tell you one thing: they're basically world-class stuntmen who have one take. They only get one take to do the performance. So like shit happens. Those guys get hurt for real.
Yeah.
Yo,
man.
so
When these
if you
cut
seen that
themselves,
movie, if you saw that wrestling movie with Rick Mickey Rourke, that movie was deep because it was really like telling the story, and them dudes be getting like broken bones and dislocated hips and knees because there's a lot of slamming and all that craziness.
And
of
jamming.
course, now listen, one thing they used to give me when I was younger when they would do the thing that when I was young in wrestling, there was a lot more real stuff going on, even though it was a lot of fakeness, but it was some real stuff because it was that time. Like now you got so much ways around it now, whatever. But back then, the thing I knew when I was even young is when dudes would run full speed and put those big ass boots, like right in somebody, kick them right in the face, supposedly.
Yeah.
And there's no blood or no nothing. I was a kid being like, oh, come on now with it. Or they're whipping your ass and all of a sudden you just come back to life. Like the dudes come back.
They threw you over the fence, on the table, slammed a chair on you.
Yo, I'd be like, yo, this is fake, but I like it though. Yeah. I was a kid. But,
of course,
but
a lot of us like it. That's why you got so many
when
fans.
I went down south,
shout out to The Rock and John Cena.
But listen, I went down south. Yo, them people will be ready to fight you when you told them that shit was fake.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you. I'd be like, yo, that fake ass shit. Them motherfuckers be trying to fight. Oh no, come on, man. They believe in that, man. But who would you think? Ric Flair. They asked him who was his greatest.
Sorry,
who do you think was the greatest wrestler of all time? You knew who you think he said?
Andre the Giant.
Huh? No.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan, probably.
Huh?
Hulk Hogan.
Yes. You see what I'm saying? And so these are other wrestlers. These because y'all was short, that was a low five. But anyway,
we're sitting down.
That five was low as hell. That was like
power to the short people.
You gotta do it upside down, low five.
Yo, that was the praying.
Watch that be out in the little trap rap video. Next thing, that's the next best thing, yo.
Yo, that was little praying hands emoji. Oh, there goes DL. He just wiped the sweat off his ice cream.
Listen, we gotta go. The ice cream is waiting.
Yo, just have the truck come by.
This is episode 96. Thank you for joining us on the Danger Zone podcast with Mr. DL, Big Shug, Chef Tiny Nicole, and of course our special guest, Real Love.
Let me tell you one thing. Excuses have no purpose, so don't make them.
Don't make them.
And as we grow, we glow. And we gonna keep on coming every week, man. And we appreciate y'all tuning in, and peace. On my dark days, I chop crack on the regular. Ran up in spots and clapped on the regular. Took big fat ass stacks from the register. No matter how hard they tried, they still couldn't measure the hard I had.